Hey guys, it's Cait. Today I'm going to do 5 worst dads and of course, can't forget the best of the best dads. I want to make this video because Father's Day is coming up and we have to appreciate our fathers and of course, can't forget, appreciate the anime fathers who probably deserve the best medal and the worst medal. This list took me a while because there were a lot of dads to go through and of course, if you go and find the worst of the worst, they always somehow end up having the same thing, apparently. This is just my opinion. You can always disagree with my list. Put the comments below. And I'll be looking forward to it. Number 5 of worst stats. Jindo Kaira. I butchered that name 100%. That's okay. From Neon Genesis, Evangelion. What can I say about this guy? Besides, he bent his son. Not only he bent his son, he also gave his son tremendous trauma he has to deal with. Not healthily, of course, but slightly. Have to deal with it, and of course we have to watch Shinji do this because he didn't know how to cope. Jindo came in the first time in forever. He told his son to pilot a Garyon. Why? To save the Earth. Because he was only few who can. Because if he doesn't, the whole world dies and everyone that dies go with it. He also treats his son like a tool. I don't know how I feel about that. And not give him the love that he needs. Yeah, not a good dad. And you wonder why he wanted to abandon his son. Because he was afraid to fall in love with his son. Because in the end, he didn't want to get hurt. You can see why I put him on number 5. Of course, we're going to go with our number 5 best dads in anime. Shiro Fujimoto from Blue Exorcist. Shiro hated demons a lot. A spawn of Satan. And he still raised them like his own sons. And he cared about them so much that he even went die for them. He was very understanding with Wen, who has problems, who likes to get in fights and everything, to make breakfast for the first time, knowing that turned into a disaster. But he still ate it because he wanted to make Wen to feel appreciated as trouble as most people say. With his wisdom, he even helped Wukio, an exorcist, with him. Because he isn't as strong as Wen, he wanted to make him feel like he can be strong too by being an exorcist, by killing demons. This guy will always put his sons first than himself, knowing anything could go terribly wrong. But this guy has a golden heart, and we all love him for it. Number 4 was dads. We all know who's gonna be on this list. The fire bear himself, Inji Toyo, known as Endeavor from My Hero Academia. Why he's at 4th, here's my reasons why. Because I can't lower him any lower than he is now. Because there's other dads who take his spot. You can say Endeavor is really bad at being a father. Because he is. This guy has a lot of baggage with the Toyoki family. Endeavor wants a kid that can surpass him to become a #1 hero. And that's including having many kids. 4 in total. Because he wants one kid who has half ice, half fire, aka Shoto. Endeavor trained Shoto, but he couldn't see the rest of his family because they're classified as failures. Meaning, even they try to use their quirks and try to improve to their father that they can do something, he's not interested. Shoto has to deal with trauma, what happened. He couldn't forgive Endeavor for what happened to his mom. Because his mom gone insane because what happened in the Toyoki family. Even all the bad things he did in the past, he wants to make up with the Toyoki family as best as he can. Knowing they may not forgive him, he is trying to redeem himself. Is this too late for him? I don't think so. Is he still his father? Yes. So we got Totomi Makasa from the world of psychopath. Let's say this is a very complicated relationship with a son. Very complicated. But nevertheless, he did care about his son so much that he even gave up his life. His son and him have different ideologies in the world of psychopath. One believes you have to follow the guidelines of how high your psychopath is, and you deem die or being alive. But his father did it differently. His father wants to people have free will what they want to do, than just having a tutor to tell them this is what you need to do. Different ideologies of this. Their father relationship are kind of trashed, but nevertheless, he stayed by his son being as a detective, and of course giving him the helping hand he needs to keep moving forward. He wouldn't give up his life, his job, for his son that may or may not appreciate him until the very end, so his son can live a long life. This guy really do have a golden heart that we should never forget him. But we probably will because there's other enemies out there. Number 3, Laza. 4th, Kazakai. This guy is a major asshole. Why do I say this by ass? Because he turned his son into the one-tailed beast and totally forgot about Gara. Or never did care about Gara. Why? Because he decided to try to kill him not once, not twice, but at least more and multiple times to get someone else to kill him for him. Instead of helping Gara to train and get stronger with the sin, he just wanted to kill his son because he was an uncontrollable beast. That's not all he did. Not just try to get people trying to kill him or abandon his son. This guy ordered someone close to Gara, his son-in-law, to tell Gara that his mother never cared about him and that he wanted him to die because it was the order that he was given. This aggravated Gara. He killed his only friend, fully one-tailed beast, and almost destroyed the Sand Village because how upset trauma he gets, and you wonder why he is so, how murderous he is because of this. Because Vaza didn't care. Thanks, Vaza, for being not as bad as the other ones I'm going to mention later on in this video. Number 3, best dad. Ryoji from On High School Host Club. He's a wonderful dad. Come on. Wonderful. This guy's one hell of a funny guy that we all gonna love, no matter what. Of course, he shows the personality of Tamaki. And you wonder why, how he is so tolerant with Tamaki because of her father. And he also wanted to protect Haruhi from the dangers of life and also let her have the freedom and responsibilities that she wants. She did the entries fee. She did the enrollment papers and entry fees all by herself. Yes, her father was kind of upset about it, but he understands. He wanted her to be an independent woman just like his wife. And also he lost his wife due, if I remember correctly, by an illness that she died from. And Haruhi's father wanted her to have a mother in her life, so taking on responsibilities on herself. He always loved dressing as a woman, even with his wife around. But he made it more clear in the anime that he is a cross-dresser. And I respect the hell out of it. He cross-dressed to fill the role of a mother figure it. He is one devoted father and one awesome dad to do this for Haruhi. And Haruhi kills him so much when he was working so hard to support her. She didn't want to tell him about certain things because she knew he is overworking himself. Of a father and daughter relationship. Number 2, worst dads in anime. This guy, Charles, whatever his last name is, because I could care less about him, from Code Geass. You guys know who this is. If you guys haven't watched Code Geass, go watch it. Because he has a belief, Charles is almost the worst dad in anime. Because when Natalie became paralyzed and blind, he could pay for a treatment for her. But he didn't because his core belief is that those who are weak should be shown aside from the strong. Poor Lelouch confronted his father about getting Natalie the treatment, but he still said no and banished his son and his daughter banished his son and daughter and disowned them because he think they are weak. And that's not all he done. He also gave Lelouch trauma and then tried to make Lelouch understand what he was doing, because the world that they are living is flawed, and that the world that he is creating will be much happier, much peaceful than anything else. And Lelouch said no to this. And goodbye mommy, goodbye father. Number 2 best dads in anime. This is probably one of my favorite dads in anime. Byakuya is 10 billion% supportive of his son. He sold his car to buy the equipment his son needed for Christmas. I mean, all the equipment to make a laboratory. He loved his son more than anything else in the world. And he believed his son is one of a genius scientist. Because he never gave up on his son. He cared about his son and gave him everything he needed and most in the world. He trusted his son to bring back the world that was before what happened in Dr. Stone. Byakuya gave Senku a coded message that only he could solve all by himself. 100 Tales, Byakuya and Senku have a wonderful relationship. How much Senku doesn't show it, but he really does care about his father more than anything else. Byakuya is one hell of a father and a golden heart. There's not much I can say about that. Because we can't all not love Byakuya. Number 1, worst dad in anime, Shotaka. We all know what happened. If you guys seen Fullmetal Alchemist and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I prefer you watch Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood because Fullmetal Alchemist is meh. Shotaka is probably the worst dad in anime in all history. I don't think anyone can beat Shotaka as a bad dad, as a bad dad, as the worst dad in anime. Because when you first meet Shotaka, he seems like a kind, caring father. He cares about his daughter. But you know the phrase of don't judge a book by its cover? This is one of them. Eventually you get to see how wicked this guy is. And demonic. When the state threatened Shotaka to revoke because of a lack of breakthrough, this guy decided to turn his daughter and his pet dog both into a Charmander. he chose to have witches and a big house instead of caring for his daughter more than anything else. A psychopath! Oh no, this is not the first attempt he did this. He turned his wife and another creature from his lab into a charm mirror. And he lied about it to her daughter. This image still scares me today. It's like it's like all the fathers I mentioned, that's probably the worst of the worst, cannot compare to Shell Tucker and how evil he really is. And when you get the satisfying ending of how he, this has been out for a while, how he dies, so satisfying to us, to the viewers, because we get to see how bad of a father he is, and we just want that justice for the poor little girl, for the poor little Mina and the dog. We can't mention the worst without the best of the best fathers out there. And I say, Louis Huge. Sorry I pronounced his last name wrong and his first name. But aka Sergeant Hughes from Fullmetal Alchemist and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. This guy's a most wonderful dad. Who doesn't? He always comes to work showing his pictures to everyone about his wife and his daughter. He even talks on the job about them. He really loves his wife and daughter. He would do anything for them. Not only that, he even took Alphonse and Edward as like adopted kids. Not really adopted kids, but gave them a father figure that they always wanted. And you get to see how Al and Edward respects the dude so much, even how much he talks about his wife and daughter. And they needed, and everyone else, Sergeant Hughes cared about Alphonse and Edward so much, he even would help them with anything, including the truth behind us, Philosopher Stone. I just butchered that. And even he would help everyone else that needed help with any kind of situation that they need help with. And the best part is, he didn't want to leave Roy Mustang alone about his family. Hope you guys not too disagree with this list. But if you are, please let me know who you consider as the worst and best dads in anime. Hope you guys subscribe and like and comment on this video, because it will help me very much. And also, keep your heart burning bright. And I see you in my next video. Bye bye.